Today is the day when people all over the world who are Irish or would like to think they're Irish will be revelling, celebrating, singing, shouting, dancing, drinking, partying, insofar as it's possible under the present circumstances with the lockdown. Everybody being proud and glad to be Irish. Every nation has its own particular history, its own culture and traditions, and its own pride. And in the global village of today, it's good that we are able to appreciate and share in one another's pride and joy. It's also a Saints' Day, and to me that's a reminder that what makes us what we are, whether we are Irish, Welsh, Scots, English, or many other things, what makes us what we are is very much our Christian heritage, our heritage of faith, whatever that faith may be. But here in Western Europe, the Christian heritage. And whether we're Christian believers or not, or whether we belong to another faith, or whether we have no particular faith at all, the very fact of living in this culture means that the Christian faith has had some influence over our character and our culture, even though we may not realise it. It's St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick lived in the 5th century, about 100 years before St. David. He came from Cumbria and went as a missionary to Ireland. There's not a lot we know about him, and what we do think we know about him is very often legendary, such as the belief that he drove the snakes out of Ireland, and that's why there aren't any snakes in Ireland. And also that the reason why the shamrock is the Irish national emblem is that St. Patrick used it in order to help people to understand the doctrine of the Trinity. The Christianity of Patrick's time had features that we would find unrecognisable today. It majored on things like extreme asceticism, the relics of saints and saints' bones and so on, highly unlikely miracle stories, and the conversion of the rulers first, and then the nations would follow suit. There are many things that we don't recognise today, and not many of us, as part of Christianity. But of course there are many things about our Christianity today that people of those days wouldn't recognise or approve of, and probably things that Jesus himself would not recognise or approve of. But the essence remains the same. There's a hymn called St. Patrick's Breastplate. I bind unto myself today the strong name of the Trinity. Again, it may not have actually been written by St. Patrick, but it is certainly ancient Irish, and it has that Celtic sense of God being in the whole of life and of nature all around us all the time. It includes this prayer: Christ be with me, Christ within me, Christ behind me, Christ before me, Christ beside me, Christ to win me, Christ to comfort and restore me, Christ beneath me, Christ above me, Christ in quiet, Christ in danger, Christ in hearts of all that love me, Christ in mouth of friend and stranger. One thing we almost certainly do know about Patrick was that his first visit to Ireland came as a result of being abducted by Irish pirates, and he was taken captive there and had to work as a slave for 6 years until eventually he escaped and went back to Britain. And eventually he became a Christian priest, and then he had a vision of someone calling him to go and walk among the Irish people, the very people who had captured and enslaved him. He suffered a lot of hostility and a lot of pain and a lot of hardship, but he stayed there for the rest of his life. And the heart of the Christian message has always been the same: love, forgiveness and service. Thank God for Patrick and for all those other people of ancient times and more recent times who have kept that flame alive. So now, as a Welshman who's got some Cornish blood and some English, but as far as I know not a drop of Irish, I wish all Irish people and their friends a very happy St. Patrick's Day.